All right, so let's jump into some games that we've played.
Right.
The first game is Formula D.
Yeah, designed by Laurent and Eric Randall. The art was by Nicolas Caniaux, and Stephanie Poinsot and Arnaud Simon-Laforet. Published by Asmodee.
Now, I'm going to assume that a lot of people have played this game. So I'm just going to kind of lightly touch on the top or the gameplay
It's
portion
got
of it.
11,000 reviews on Board Game Geek. I was surprised by that.
I feel like we should have played this a lot sooner. It's just funny to coming out of episode 9 where we talked about playing Small World for like the first time, or at least for me. I mean, you had played it earlier, but it's still a recent play.
Yeah, it's still late in the game.
Yeah, especially in the board game world. And now we're just getting around to Formula D.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it's just a racing game. There's two sides of the board. Now, the one side that we did play was like the street race kind of thing.
Right.
Each player has like a little special ability. The other side is just formula cars. You race around a track, and it's on a grid basically. And you have to. There's rules for shifting lanes and how many times you have to stop before you can come out of turns and things like that. And really just play till, was it 2 laps?
Yes.
Yeah. And so we played the street race, so I can't comment on the Formula One racing thing, which I don't think it has as many rules anyway. There might be a couple rules added in with how you can pass people and things like that. But
is it got different rules? I know, like what you did, you had static characters, but I think you could make your sheet like it gave you allotted points or something. Is that what the difference was?
It's that, or you have identical cars. I think you are a little bit different. I don't remember. I didn't read the rule book. We were taught this game.
Right.
So take it for what you will. But anyway, did you enjoy this? Did you think it was pretty cool?
It was long, but yeah, it was fun for the amount of time we did. So yeah. I mean, but it's interesting. It's I felt like I was racing, so I guess the theme was done pretty well for the game.
Oh yeah, I think it does a good job at the racing aspect of things. It would have been cooler if you could use a lot more of your points. Like if cars just have like double the points.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I just make it too simple, I guess. But did you ever play Rush and Crush?
No, you brought it up though while we were playing this.
Obviously, I think this came out after Formula D, and it uses the same track mechanics basically, lightly, But I feel like it's cool because it has guns and missiles and things like that, or whatever, chainsaws, flamethrowers. But this had just enough of the jump around people and stuff. And Rush and Crush is like you shift gears and you can go so many spaces, but you have to go a minimum space. With this one is like Formula D, you roll dice. Did you like that? Was that kind of bothersome to you? Or, I mean, I like how the dice, even though it's a 20-sided die, it's still a range that isn't 1 to 20. It's like whatever to whatever. But how did you like the rolling of the dice thing? I
actually really enjoyed the dice rolling because you had to put your shifter to determine which dice you rolled. Because otherwise I think it'd be too safe to just sit there and calculate like, well, I'm going to shift into this gear and I get like, I don't know, this many between this many spaces. I don't know how you would do it unless you were rolling dice. But I think that's what kind of put the gamble in it. Sometimes people overshot the stop and then that would tear your car up to try and brake and slow yourself down. So I think that's why I did like the dice rolling, because it otherwise I think it'd been too safe and probably wouldn't have been as fun.
I agree. I hadn't played this before Rush and Crush, but after playing Rush and Crush and then coming to this, I almost think that Rush and Crush would be awesome with the dice mechanic instead of the mechanic it uses. Even though it works in that game, this just adds a little bit of, you could be the gear below it and be really safe, but then possibly roll the exact number you need if you roll the highest. But then, it completely shifts on the next gear because the lowest score is your highest score from the previous one. You know what I mean? Like, right. It's just, I thought it was really cool. Like, I thought the dice were going to really be totally random for me, but I feel like the dice were just enough of a give. It's like, it wasn't such a dramatic range. And I guess I went to a preconceived notion from playing Dungeons and Dragons where the D20 is just absolutely ridiculous at low levels, but then it just almost becomes trivial at high levels.
Mm-hmm.
because at least older versions of Dungeons and Dragons, like 3.0 and 3.5. But you're like, I got a 58 to hit. Oh, what's 20 points max?
Right.
So this was, I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. And I actually my favorite thing about this game was the little mini race. Like whoever got to the police station, like flew by it as fast as possible.
Yeah, whoever could go by get the highest speed going by the police station, right? Yeah, and the one area shot at you. They took shots at you as you drove through it.
Yeah, if you stop through that area, they'll take pop shots at you with guns. Right. Yeah, man, I don't know because I haven't looked up at the maps, but if the expansion maps have more things like this, I'll probably buy a few of them.
Yeah, because I don't think I'd play the Formula One side at all.
I don't even know if I would give it a try. I'm not saying it would be bad. I just don't. I feel like this is like a little bit more. I don't want to say advanced, but more involved.
Yeah, it was prettier. Whenever I was writing down the artists, I was like, why was there 3 artists? But then I remembered that there was, the 2 sides look totally different.
That's true. Yeah.
So and the one side kind of had more of an anime, I guess, look to it or whatever. So
yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. Nice theme, and
it'd be cool to come out with a Mario Kart version with these rules. I mean, they could come out with a mini expansion that add weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're dropping turtle shells and bananas and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't see why not.
It'd be cool. Now,
I guess that would be pretty much combining your Russian Crush.
That's true. I mean, Russian Crush is a little deadlier, though, because in that game, you can die. And if you die, you're out of the game.
Right.
So that's kind of frustrating. But honestly, every time I played it that I remember, because it's been a couple years now, and we played it probably 5 or 6 times, at least near the end of when we stopped playing it. And I feel like we never finished a race. Like, it usually finished with one person living.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And that's a little too crazy, maybe. Like, because, I mean, it takes the focus off of racing. Mm-hmm. It could just be the players, though. But I feel like in this game, like, if they added some more specials to where you can slow people down and do different things, that's a good point, though. I think that some of the specials were way cooler than others in Formula D.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was yours? You slowed people down as they looked at you as they went by?
If they drove by me, because mine was a pretty girl.
Yeah.
If they drove by me, they would get slowed down because I think she blew a kiss at them or something, and it would make them stop.
I had like an extra boost, or I got like +4 to my boost rollers. I don't know what it was, and I don't know. I feel like yours is better if you're playing with a lot of people, but it's worse if you're playing with less people.
Yeah, the only problem with mine was I started in the back.
That's true.
I think I got to use it once the whole time we played.
Yeah, whereas I used mine both laps.
Right.
So, I don't know. Maybe the special powers could be a little different. Maybe they are fixed in expansions or whatnot, but...
Now, I can see where that girl's ability would be great if you got lucky and, started in first.
True.
That'd be pretty
That would
fun.
actually make it crazier because you won the game.
Yeah.
And you started last.
Yes.
And everybody used their ability more than you.
Right.
So, I guess in some cases, they are probably balanced to a point, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun game, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd ever play this 10 players, dude. 10 people. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, what was it? We kind of laughed at the amount of time it said, 60 minutes.
Yeah. Is that... No. Not with 10 people. Not with 6 people.
Yeah, and it doesn't even give a range. It just straight says 60 minutes.
Yeah.
It's got to be different between 2 and 10, so...
Now, maybe the Formula One side would be cool with 10 people.
Right.
Or maybe even with 5 people, but you both control 2 cars. Because there's like 2 blue cars.
Right.
2 green cars. They're just kind of like primary, secondary.
Right.
Yeah. Colors or whatever. But yeah, fun game.